Christmas came early for the VCU Rams as they return to the Siegel Center this afternoon to face a former A-10 foe, the Temple Owls. Great to be back with you here at the Siegel Center. We welcome you courtside. I'm Sean Robertson. Great to be back with John Feinstein. The Christmas gift came a tad bit early for VCU. Joe Bamasiel is available to play this afternoon for VCU, a huge addition for Coach Ryan Odom.
Absolutely. I mean, they've been waiting to hear from the NCAA. They did not. And finally, a West Virginia judge on Thursday ruled that all players who the NCAA has not given waivers to are eligible to play for at least 2 games.
So that ruling came early. He would have been our player to watch, but we're going to start with Temple's player to watch, and he's the second leading scorer in the American Athletic Conference.
Asir Miller, he scores, he rebounds, he passes. He's averaging 18 points a game, almost 5 rebounds at 6'1", and 4.3 assists. He does everything for Temple.
And for VCU, Zeb Jackson.
Zeb Jackson has also been kind of a do-everything guy for VCU. He's been playing the point a lot. He's the second leading scorer. He's moved into a role from being a complimentary player to being a major player for the Rams.
And for our keys to the game, starting with Temple.
Well, Temple's got to rebound. They are a small team. And especially with Bamasiel added to VCU's lineup, even though I'm sure he won't start, they've got to rebound. And the other thing they have to do is keep VCU from doing what it did last Sunday when the Rams made 22 threes.
And when you talk about VCU, it's their bread and butter.
Right. They've got to continue to make the threes the way they did against Alcorn State. This is obviously a better team than Alcorn State and Temple, but they also have to get out and run every chance they get and get the crowd involved in this game, because I thought in the second half, Sean, on Sunday, that was a big part of the Rams being able to turn the game into a blowout. 17
threes for VCU on Sunday. That's the second most ever for a VCU squad. It's Temple and VCU coming up next on Masson and on ESPN+. 11, Zeb Jackson, Max Shoga in the backcourt, Michael Bell, Kwani, and Christian Furman up front. Kwani coming off a career performance for him in a VCU uniform Sunday against Alcorn State. Scored 15 points and hit his first 4 3-pointers of the season as the Rams control the opening tip, and we're underway.
That was one of the most evenly matched opening tips I've ever seen. Both guys got their hands on the ball, and guys from Temple and VCU got their hands on the ball before Jackson grabbed it.
And Furman scores the game's first basket.
He earned it with his work on the tip.
Did not score in Sunday's outcome against Alcorn State, but gives the Rams their first 2.
And the guy to watch for Temple, as we said, is Miller. He is a wonderful all-around player, and that's a tough shot.
Made by Piccarelli. Matteo Piccarelli scores the basket and gets fouled, and a chance at a 4-point play.
And he got fouled by Shoga. You don't like to get the game off to a start with your leading scorer committing a foul in the first minute.
Matteo Piccarelli, one of 5 Owls in double figures this season, averaging 11.4 this year. Misses the 4-point play, a transfer from Maryland, Baltimore County. He was recruited to UMBC by current VCU head coach Ryan Odom.
I actually did games that he was involved in when I was doing UMBC games. He's a very good player off the bench. Now he's a starter.
Owls with a 1-point lead. VCU has under 10 to shoot for Kwani against Matteo.
Triple teamed him in the lane.
Shot clock is set 3 for Jackson to unload. And the rebound still loose and recovered in the backcourt by Jackson.
Good hustle there by both teams. New 30-second clock.
You talked about this matchup, John. Miller guarded Jackson here on this offensive set.
He's actually, in addition to all his offensive numbers, he's one of their better defensive players too.
Rams with a turnover on that possession.
And Ryan Odom talked again this week about the importance of not turning the ball over. They cut the turnovers to 11 on Sunday, only 4 in the second half, and that certainly helped.
And that big victory over Alcorn State, 86-58. Here's Miller, the AAC leading scorer this year at almost 19 a season.
19 a game.
19 a game, I beg your pardon.
19 a season wouldn't be that impressive.
Steve Settle, the third, misses his first shot. VCU on offense and a quick foul. That is going to go against Barry, the transfer from Providence.
Settle is another transfer, played at Howard last year on the Howard team and played a key role on the Howard team that won the MEAC title to get Howard to the NCAA tournament for the first time in 32 years.
And in fact, Settle the third played here in this building last year as a Howard Bison.
You and I did the game.
That's right. Here's Shulga with a step back.
I don't think the step back is Shulga's best shot. I think he's much better when he catches the ball and steps into the shot.
Possession will stay with VCU. We've seen a lot of guys try that step back.
Yeah. If you're not Steph Curry, it's a pretty tough shot.
That is. VCU will maintain it with a 20-second shot clock. Here's Bell in the lane.
Tough shot for a righty going left.
Miller the rebound. One of the best rebounders in the AAC.
You and I were commenting before the game that he averages almost 5 a game at 6'1", but he looks bigger than 6'1".
And Jackson scores in transition. Yeah, he's a thick 6'1".
Yeah, he is. You can tell he's strong.
Yeah, he's averaging nearly 5 rebounds a game this season. And here's Miller shooting a 3.
Again, even a good shooter going left as a righty.
Grabs the offensive rebound for Temple. Looks again for Miller. He'll shoot another 3.
Nope. Wasn't even close. That's why people don't ask me to make predictions.
He's the #1 shooter as far as attempts this season in the conference.
171 attempts in 9 games. Do the math. That's almost 20 a game.
Here's Shulga again against Barry.
Again, another step back.
Hoffman the rebound. 3.5 minutes gone by in the first half, and VCU has a 1-point lead. Here's Miller. Had it go off him, and it will go back to VCU. He had a clear lane to the basket, but a good deflection by VCU.
Good
causes
recovery.
a turnover. Temple's second, and now the crowd is on their feet because for the first time this season, Joe Bamasil will see action for VCU. The transfer from Oklahoma by way of GW and also Virginia Tech, and he's also a high school area product, played at Monacan High School.
First time in a VCU uniform.
He got to practice with the team throughout his absence, but didn't get a chance to play until today. That federal ruling came down this past week.
And worth noting that it only guarantees him 2 games. There will be a final ruling. There's a temporary injunction against the NCAA passed down by a West Virginia judge. 7 attorneys general signed on to the petition. And there will be a permanent ruling later this week.
Here's Shulga into the lane and draws a foul. That'll go against Jaleel White, a redshirt junior from out of Whitesboro, New Jersey.
Who's just back in the lineup. He missed 5 games. And he was questionable before the game, but he's able to play.
Yeah, he's a Philly Big 5 Rookie of the Year selection. That's pretty high praise.
That's darn high praise.
Here's Bamasil's first shot, and the rebound squeezed in by Settle the third.
Would have been too scripted if he'd made it, right?
Here's Piccarelli with an air ball, and Fats Billups grabs the miss. VCU with that 1-point lead, 4-3.
Both teams a little cold, and the building's kind of cold, isn't it?
A little chilly. A few people have said that, including all 3 officials this afternoon. Here's Bamasil.
There you go.
First basket of the season for Joe Bamasil.
First basket of his VCU career.
Rams with a 3-point lead, 4.5 minutes gone by. And Bamasil gets whistled for the foul, and that brings us to a timeout with 15:26 to go in the first half. VCU leading 6-3. There's the first basket in the VCU career for Joe Bamasil. A little jump hook in the lane. He waited all year for that to take place. You can see the big smile on his face as that shot went down as VCU leads by 3
He was
over
well
Temple.
defended on that shot and was able to get it up.
Well, that is a score, no question. He hasn't shown that a lot in his collegiate career, but when he played at Monacan, one year, he averaged over 28 points per night for the Chiefs.
Jaleel White had his hand in his face. Good steal there.
Great defensive play by VCU with a 3-point lead. Toby Lawal in for the first time. He sets that pick for Shulga to go inside and scores.
We think of Shulga as a shooter, which he is, but he can also drive the ball very well. When he gets going downhill, he's tough to stop.
Last 4 games, Shulga really hasn't shot the ball well, only shooting 33%.
He's a better shooter
span.
than that. You're right.
Here is Settle the third against Fats Billups.
That's
and
a
scores.
nice move. I didn't see that move last year. He was more of a defender/rebounder and has long arms, as you can see.
Averaging just over 7 points this season. He scored 18 in that game when he was at Howard here at VCU last season.
The game was close until late.
Shulga gets bumped and draws a foul, and it looks like it'll be Hoffman, the guilty party.
Again, nice drive by Shulga. He likes to go left and got bumped. Made sure the official saw that he got bumped, and he'll go to the line for 2.
That might be one thing that will probably get him back on track. I mentioned only a 33% shooter the last 4 games. That dipped his yearly average to 40% from the field, but from the free throw line, he is automatic. 90% this season, and in his last 4 games, 20 of 21 from the stripe.
He has no chance to make this shot.
No, the jinx won't happen. He's a tremendous free throw shooter.
He is, but he has that stroke that, as soon as he lets go of the ball, it's going in.
There it is, no jinx.
He overcame the Robertson jinx.
And the team, right now, they're on a record pace. This year, they came in shooting 78% from the line. That's number 1 in the A-10. A big reason is Shulga.
And traditionally, VCU has not been a great free throw shooting team.
Middle of the pack or bottom half of the conference, but they're number 1 this year. Here's Ty's Thweet inside. Bama still trying to battle for the rebound, and the loose ball picked up by Temple, and another opportunity by Thweet, and he'll go to the line.
Again, Temple is not a tall team, but they have a lot of wings forwards who are very quick around the basket, and that's what we saw right there.
Shulga just picked up his 2nd foul, and that'll send the transfer from West Virginia to the line to shoot 2. He played 12 games in his 2 seasons with Bob Huggins at West Virginia.
And lived to tell about it. Huggins, one of my favorite guys. I know he's had issues, but he's a great coach. I asked him one time a few years back, I said, Bob, why aren't you in the Hall of Fame? And he said, probably because you're my biggest supporter. He's in the Hall of Fame now.
I was going to say he should have been in there a while ago.
Yes, he should have.
Shulga will have to take a seat with his 2 fouls. Zeb Jackson back in after Thweet made the first.
And remember what I said after he committed the first foul in the first minute. That's not what you want if you're Ryan Odom and staff.
So your leading scorer will have to sit. Jason Nelson, who's been the 6th man for VCU this season, has had big games in that role this year. Will have to play important minutes. Bamasil drills a 3.
He's not rusty.
No, he's not.
And he's not timid.
Great form there. He has 5. Here's White inside. Lawal the rebound. And stolen away by Temple.
Good hustle by White there.
Miller left open, and he'll shoot for 3.
Wow, he's cold.
Lawal another rebound and then draws another foul. It'll go against Thweet.
What did we say? One of the keys to the game for VCU was to control Miller. So far, so good.
He's 0-3, all from behind the arc.
We talked about the connection between the 2 head coaches, Ryan Odom and Adam Fisher, both from the Terry Holland coaching tree. Ryan's dad, Dave, worked for Terry Holland for many years at UVA. And Jim Larinaga, who Adam Fisher worked for 9 years at Miami, also was an assistant under Terry Holland at UVA. So there's a genuine connection there.
Bamasil, what another triple.
Does he make a difference or what?
8 points off the bench for Joe Bamasil, and it's a 9-point VCU lead.
Hard to guard a guy who catches and shoots so quickly.
He's got half of the Rams' points.
3 out of 4, right?
Yeah, 2 3-pointers, and Zion Stanford just turned it over. You can see the smile, the relief, the energy on Joe Bamisill.
I think a lot of it is relief.
Yeah.
Just to be on the court.
And as you mentioned, it's at least 2 games. So it's this one, Maryland Eastern Shore next Friday, and then we'll sit and wait to see if he will be able to play the rest of the year.
Exactly. And he's not the only one.
A whole bunch of other athletes.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Bamisill, nice pass to Jackson for 3.
When I was a kid, that pass would get you benched. But nowadays, it's routine.
Here is Miller looking to get on track.
Good hands.
And Stanford had it go all they're going to say it stays with VCU. I thought it was close to going off of Stanford, but it will stay with the Owls as Furman and Billups will come back in.
It's good
as well
hands.
as Sand Hoffman.
Sorry, it was good hands by Nelson there. And the official paused before he made the call. So it was close. We know it was close.
Bamisill will take a seat along with Lawal. All Joe did in 4 minutes was score 8 points and hit 2 3-pointers.
Well, and he's going to be on some kind of a pitch count.
Yeah, I would think so.
Because he obviously hasn't played in the game. And that's a different level from practice in terms of intensity. Nice drive.
Jaleel White with a nice move. His first basket.
Again,
Owls are within 5.
helps Adam Fisher to have him back. And Temple now showing a little bit of zone.
Billups has it. Jackson now on the drive. Good look inside to Bell, who scores.
Sure was. Now, that was a classic point guard move, to get in the lane, double team, and spot the open man underneath.
He's learning more in that role.
Yeah, because he's been playing it more.
It's primarily a 6-man and more of a 2-guard last year as White draws a foul.
You're 100% right, Sean. I don't remember him playing the point last year.
Not much. Not much. Timeout on the floor with 11:32 to go, and VCU with a 9-point lead. Good look at the VCU huddle. Inside of it is the head coach of the Rams, Ryan Odom, in his first season here at VCU with a 5-5 record, 175 career victories in his career as head coach.
And you also see, I'm sorry, Sean, you also see Matt Henry with the glasses on, a little taller. And the other connection is when Matt Henry was an assistant at Georgetown and he was running the Georgetown summer camp, one of the young men he hired to help him was Adam Fisher, who was then a graduate assistant at Penn State. So the connections are deep in this game.
Fisher said he has a ton of respect for what Odom has done. And here's the steal by Nelson. Up ahead to Billups.
Wow.
Who brings it home for his first basket.
Nice pass and great finish. That's what Ryan Odom wants to see. He wants to see his team get out whenever it can in transition.
An 11-point VCU lead, their largest of the afternoon. Here's Hoffman stepping out for 3 and ringing it up.
Temple needed that.
Hoffman averaging 5.5 points per game this season, shooting right around 32% from behind the arc. Looked good on that one to pull the Owls within 8. And now another turnover. Here's Steve Settle the third, up ahead against Jackson, and he'll score.
Jackson was smart there. He realized with the height difference that to try to stop Settle would only lead to a 3-point play.
It's a 6-point game, just like that, a little mini 5-0 run by Temple.
Temple's still in the zone with Settle at the top.
And Settle is 6'10" as part of that zone. Billups misses the 3 and the rebound to White.
Since nobody admits to being a center anymore, you call Settle a point forward on defense.
No question, he can handle it like a guard. We saw that last year with Howard. He can handle it like a guard, shoot it like a guard, run like a guard, but has the body type of a forward. Here's Miller into the lane, scoops it up.
Still can't make one.
And the rebound to VCU. And they have numbers, 4-on-2. Jackson to the rim all the way and scores.
Well, the only number they needed was Zeb there.
Nobody stopped the ball. Jackson took advantage. And they're going to get Nelson with a foul.
Of course, that's non-shooting. I think it's the 4th foul.
Team's 5th.
VCU 5th.
So Bamisill will come back in along with Kwani. Bell will take a breather along with Nelson. And remember, Shoga on the bench with 2 fouls. He picked those up early in the half.
And Ryan Odom isn't going to risk a third as long as VCU has this lead.
22-14, VCU with an 8-point lead. They've led basically throughout this first half. Settle the third, guarded by Billups. Here's White, a straight-on three.
He was backing up as he took it, and that's why it was short.
VCU looking to add to their lead by Bamisil. Back tap by Kwani, and a reset as Coach Fisher was hot that was not an offensive foul. Kwani converts on the triple.
Once he made one, he stopped missing. What was he, 0 for 17?
He was 0 for his
Sunday?
first 16. He made 4 of 6 on Sunday, and now his first in this game.
He's 1 of 1. That was
and a steal by
pass.
Jackson. He's got numbers again, but slows up and waits for Billups. Jackson to Kwani again for 3. Ring it up.
He can't miss.
Coach Fisher burns the timeout as the lead has blown up to 14 as Kwani has scored the last 6 for VCU from behind the arc.
And Adam Fisher's still upset with the officials.
And he went back to that tap by Kwani that Fisher thought was an over the back, and they didn't get the call.
That's exactly what he was talking about. And you can see they're still arguing.
VCU in the midst of an 8-0 run under the last 70 seconds, and Kwani, a big reason why. 6 of those 8 scored by Kwani, who was mired in a season-long three-pointing slump, has now made 6 of his last 8
after
from
0
behind
for
the arc.
16. See, I could get the 0 for 16 part. I could do that.
But 6 of his last 8 is pretty good after coming out of that stretch.
I might make 6 out of 8 open layups. That's as good as I would get. And Adam Fisher's still arguing. He needs to be careful. He doesn't want to get teed up right here.
Now, he's talked to all 3 officials about that call.
And all 3 officials have visibly demonstrated what they thought they saw. And
one kind of showed the forearm. It was like he did not lead with a forearm.
And the other one said he didn't lean with his hands.
Now, you can go vertical and make that play as long as there's no contact. And the officials said that there was no contact by Kwani, and it converted into a three-pointer made by Kwani. Nice move inside by White over Furman. Gets his own miss. Settle the third for 3. And White gets an offensive rebound.
Smart play by White, not forcing it to the basket. And
Hoffman
finally
again.
Get a 3.
His second three-pointer of the half. He's got 6, and it's an 11-point lead. Kwani with the answer.
Oh, he missed one. Take him out.
Offensive rebound. Furman gets a chance for a three-point play.
Score anyway.
You mentioned pregame, rebound.
Absolutely. I mean, you could say that before any game, but it's notable in this game because of the height difference.
No question. Furman, one of the nation's leaders in block shots this season, gets the and 1. He's got 4 so far in the first half. Did not score in the game against Alcorn State on Sunday.
He scored today.
Looking to try to complete this three-point play. Is a 58% shooter from the line this year. 2nd in the A-10 in offensive rebounds. 5th in total blocks. 6th in blocks per game.
That didn't look like a 58% shooter right there.
He'll take a breather for Toby Lawal. And rebounds right now favors VCU 12-10. And another key stat, we were talking about assists. VCU 8 assists on 12 made field goals in the first half. They are averaging right around 58% as far as assists to field goals this season. Miller with a step back 3 and Billups the rebound.
Is he now 0 for 5?
0 for 5, 0 for 4 from 3. A lob to Lawal, and he lost it out of bounds, and it will go to Temple. And that brings us to our under 8 media timeout. 31-17, VCU up by 14 as you're watching VCU basketball on Masson and ESPN+. VCU with a 31-17 lead over Temple with 7:45 to go in the first half. We talked about Coach Fisher, the head coach of Temple in his first season with the Owls. a alum of Penn State. He was the interim head coach last year for the Nittany Lions when they went to the NCAA. And I asked him this week about that, about having it has to be a special place for you to leave your alma mater just coming off a tournament appearance. And he said it's because it's Temple. The history.
He's a Philly kid,
He's a Philly kid. Having the opportunity to coach behind John Chaney, the late John Chaney, Fran Dunphy, and to be a part of that Big Five, he said it was something that was hard to pass up.
Yeah, you could tell. I went to the Big Five triple header a couple weeks ago in the Wells Fargo Center, which wasn't the same as the Palestras. Settled a little short there.
A little bit.
And I got to talk to Adam before the game, and he was just almost tingling at the idea, because they were playing St. Joseph's for the championship.
Yeah.
Because they'd beaten LaSalle in triple overtime, coached by
That was a great
Dunphy.
game. I got a chance to see that on television.
Yeah.
But that was a great game to watch.
Had to be. I did not see it, to be honest.
They look inside to Lawal.
Well, good quick release there with the double team coming.
Here's Jackson on the move. Nice move to the cup.
That's always been his strength, is taking the ball to the hole.
He's got 6 so far in the half, and it's VCU's largest lead at 16 over Temple. Here's Miller.
Just lost it.
Another Owls turnover, their 7th of the first half.
Adam Fisher told me that he thought to win the game, they had to be under 10 turnovers.
He did, yep.
That's going to be difficult.
Very difficult. Fab Billups will take a seat for the moment.
All coaches are very conscious of turnovers, but in today's game, they always talk about the live ball turnovers. That was not.
They will do a dead ball turnover any day instead of a live ball turnover.
No question.
Bamasil against Settle the third. Bamasil on the drive.
Boy, that looked like a foul.
Gets his own miss inside and taken away by Temple. Here's Berry in transition. Settle the third has it. And good defense by VCU to get back.
Well, and given Settle's last shot from that spot, good idea by him to back it off.
Miller yet to score in this half. Shot clock is under 10. Piccarelli over Kwani, got fouled. And the rebound of VCU saved by Nelson. There was contact after the shot, but no whistle.
Nice play by Nelson to save that ball. Temple still, now they're in a 2-3. They were in a 1-2-2 for a while.
VCU in the midst of a 13-3 run over the last 4 minutes. And Nelson draws contact on Piccarelli.
That'll be the last non-shooting foul of the half for Temple.
And Jaleel White will come in to replace Quante Berry. Yeah, you put VCU in that situation where they be shooting free throws the rest of the half. That's putting yourself in a real difficult spot to overcome.
Yep.
Down by 16, and you'll give them a chance to take free throws the rest of the half. Max Shulga back in for VCU.
A little surprised by that, but he's a fifth-year player. He should know how to play without fouling.
Under 10 to shoot for VCU. Nelson against Miller. A little stutter step. Saved by Kwani. No, and Lawal will finish strong for his first basket.
That's not how it was drawn up, but it worked.
Another rebound for VCU and another basket for the Rams as they're up by 18.
Right now, two things that Temple had to have to win, Miller playing well and rebounding well, are not happening.
Piccarelli long on the three. Shulga up ahead. Found Nelson in the corner, who hits another three.
Nelson loves shooting the ball out of those corners. And Adam really can't afford another timeout. He's already used one.
5 made three-pointers in the half for VCU. A 21-point Rams lead.
I did not expect this. Just as I didn't expect a blowout against Alcorn.
Miller can't convert. Shulga the rebound. Miller 0 for 6 from the field. Here's Kwani with a nice catch and the finish.
Nice look by Shulga. Being aggressive. This is what VCU did not do Sunday against Alcorn. When they got the lead up to 14. They kind of went back on their heels. and they are not doing that right now.
23-point lead.
Settle
the third. Tough shot.
Yep.
Offensive rebound. This is Akpomo with an offensive rebound and a chance to go to the line as we come to our last TV timeout. Thank you, John. 4 minutes to go in the half. VCU in control, up by 23. You're watching Rams basketball on Masson and on ESPN+. Great to have you with us on Masson and on ESPN Plus as we're getting close to Christmas. And VCU got themselves an early gift this week, courtesy of a federal judge ruling to bring Joe Bamisiel to be active for at least 2 games. And his early scoring has given VCU a big lift, and they lead by 23.
And if Bamisiel doesn't score another point in this game, he will have made a major contribution to VCU running out to this big lead.
Akpomo at the line for Temple. He's only attempted 1 free throw this year, and he makes his first of the 2023 campaign.
So he's now up to 50%.
And that ends a 12-0 run by VCU. He's a transfer from out of Wake Forest as he converts on both. Played in 14 games with the Demon Deacons.
Demon Deacons once coached by Ryan Odom's father.
That's right.
Including to the Elite Eight with Tim Duncan.
Those are some good teams.
Oh, yeah.
Back then. Along with Randolph Childress as well, right?
Randolph Childress was a great player.
Yes, he was.
So
last touch by VCU. It'll be Temple's basketball now.
First time I met Arnold Palmer, who went to Wake Forest. I said to him, and it was true, I said, you know, I canceled the breakfast with Mike Krzyzewski so I could come see you. And he went, Mike, what? I said, he's the basketball coach at Duke. I figured he didn't know anything about basketball. And Arnold said, oh, yeah, Duke, that's the team we've beaten 9 times in a row.
Wow.
Which they had at that point.
3 on the way and good by Quante Berry, the transfer from Providence.
Tim Duncan never lost to Duke until his last game as a senior. Against Duke, not his last game.
Not a lot of teams in the country can say that claim.
Nope.
Especially in the ACC.
Dave Odom can make that claim.
Shulga converts from downtown. He's got 7 and his first make from 3. And it's a 21-point lead for VCU. Coming up on 3 minutes to go in the first half. White is called for a travel.
Right? What was the difference between Shulga's shot then and his 2 earlier shots?
Not falling away.
He stepped into the shot, exactly.
And a guy that normally is about 40% from 3, right now is at 35 because he's been in a little bit of a slump. But that one looked good.
That looked good.
And now his drive, he's going to get 2 more free throw opportunities as Thweek is called for a second.
And as I said earlier, you think of him as a jump shooter, but he's very good going to the basket on either side.
Miller's going to come in on the next dead ball for Temple as he will look to get on track. He has been held scoreless so far in this half. He is averaging 18 a night for Temple this season. He is the AAC's 2nd leading scorer this season, and he has been held in check by VCU's defense for the moment.
If I had told you before the game started that he would be scoreless 18 minutes in, you would have had me carried out. And justifiably.
And the volume of shots he takes this year to be held scoreless, I would be very surprised. He would get at least a point somewhere along the way.
Yeah, he shoots it 19 times a game.
Yeah, he leads the conference in attempts this season. As you mentioned earlier, 171 field goal attempts before this afternoon. He's 0 of 6 in this first half, and Shulga will take a break.
And we'll talk about 0 of 6 naturally, but the 6 is almost as significant as the 0 because usually by halftime he's got 9 or 10. So VCU's done a good job keeping him from shooting and then guarding him well when he shoots, because I think only 1 shot I've looked at that he's taken, I said, oh, he should make that.
Yeah, it was actually on this
right
on the right wing when you said it was going to.
I said he's not missing this,
and he missed it. I think he missed it short and to the right.
Yeah, it wasn't close. It just hit the right side of the rim.
Hoffman for 3, and he's made 3 from behind the arc in this first half for Temple.
Helping to make up for Miller's coldness, but not enough.
He's got 9 to lead the Owls. Here's Nelson on the wing for 3.
Nelson's better shooting from the corners. Feels like he never misses from the corner.
Temple down 20 as we're coming up on 2 minutes to go in the first half. Miller yet to score, has it against Jackson. Here's White. Scores, and he's fouled by Bamisil.
Nice drive there by White.
Bamisil just picked up his second. And White trying to get on track. That is now 4 for him, along with 5 rebounds.
Bamisil, no, I thought Bamisil was going to come out with the 2 fouls.
Not yet. VCU is going to bring in size with Kwani and the energy of Toby Lawal.
It's 2 guys it's nice to be able to bring in off the bench late in the half.
Toby quietly has led the A-10 in field goal percentage this season. Mainly around the rim. He's shooting 75% so far this year.
It's pretty good from anywhere. Temple's still in the zone, back to the point forward zone.
Under 2 minutes to go in the first half. Jackson looking at that 1-3-1. Under 10 to shoot, and they leave Jackson open for 3. Ring it up. Great patience by VCU on that last possession.
Great patience, and I usually think a guy's going to miss when he has that much time to think about it, but that hit nothing but the very bottom of the net.
Jackson almost got a steal on Miller. Settle the third, gets by Kwani, and they get contact, and they're going to get a jump ball.
Wow.
And an arrow favors Temple.
That was great defense. I couldn't see it from this angle clearly. But
he went right up against Lawal and Kwani.
2 tough guys to go up against. I'm not sure he didn't get fouled below the ball. But definitely with the hand on the ball.
So Temple will get it back on the alternating arrow now with under 10 to shoot. The double on Miller. Settle a straight on 3.
Short again.
Miller an offensive rebound. Piccarelli will shoot for 3, ring it up.
Piccarelli could always make 3s when he was at UMBC. Just didn't play as many minutes as he's playing now.
Coach Fisher said he is a great shooter. That is his second from behind the arc in his half, and VCU with an 18-point lead. Under a minute to go. Here's Kwani. Extra pass. Zeb Jackson on the baseline drive and the finish.
That's what's tough about Zeb Jackson. If you don't guard the 3, he can make it on you. But if he makes a shot fake, you go for it, and then he's dunking the ball.
He's got 11 to lead all scores. Shot clock is off for Temple.
See if they don't try to get a shot from Miller here to end the half to get him off the schneid.
He does, and he'll go to the line as he draws the foul with 3.7 seconds left.
Is there any doubt in your mind that he was going to shoot the ball one way or the other?
The other 4 guys could have just been, 4 corners like you were talking about earlier, and just let him handle it himself.
I remember years ago, Wake Forest, which was had great guards under Carl Tacey, went to the 4 corners in a game against North Carolina. And Woody Durham, the great play-by-play guy from North Carolina who did the games for more than 30 years, said, it's like being shot with your own gun.
Once you saw that, you knew it was over. And Miller had missed the first free throw for a guy that shoots 76% from the line this year. He's already missed 1, made the second, his first point.
Finally got the ball to go over the rim and into the basket.
It came with 19:57 gone.
They have a play here for this kind of time.
Here's Nelson. Gets it across half court. gets it off in time. It would have counted.
It would have counted.
But VCU's got to be pretty pleased as they lead by 19 going into the break behind Zeb Jackson's 11 first half points. We're going to start our halftime activities from the Siegel Center with the Rams leading Temple 50-31 on Masson and on ESPN+. The second half here at the Siegel Center with VCU leading 50-31. And if you look at every important stat in the first half, favors VCU. Field goal percentage, three-point percentage, rebounds, forced turnovers, assists, everything. That was a dominant first half for VCU.
Well, everything we said needed to happen for Temple did not. Everything we said needed to happen for VCU did. And rebounding was close early, not so close late. And the shooting percentages obviously are huge.
Bell is back in as part of the starting five with Furman, Jackson, Kwani, and Sugar.
When you double the opponent in shooting percentage, usually puts you in pretty good shape.
No question. Here's Sugar, a straight on three.
Backing up a little bit, right?
He did it on that one, and out of bounds to VCU just a bit. Sugar 2 of 5 from the field so far. Starting five for Temple is on the floor. Piccarelli, Hoffman, Berry, Miller, and Settle the third. Jackson left open for three. Kwani got taken down, and Piccarelli will be called for his second foul.
Yeah, he sure will. Two good shots. I think they're gonna look at it to see if it might have been a flagrant foul. I don't think it was, from what I could see from here, but officials nowadays always want to be careful.
No question.
Better safe than sorry.
Chase Shaw, Jeff Pond, and Mark Schorner, who has officiated a few A-10 games here at the Siegel Center in recent years. Chase Pond came to our table Chase Shaw, I beg your pardon. I got the two, combined the two officials. That was Chase Shaw who came to our table and gave us the explanation.
Which is what we thought, that they're checking to see if it was a flagrant, because it was a hook and hold, and they're trying to see if the chin got hit as he was being taken down.
And if that's a hook and hold, that's a flagrant
one. That's an F1, right.
And that's two shots in the possession for VCU.
Right, and Temple hasn't touched the ball yet.
Exactly.
And when you're down to 19, that's not the way you want to start the half.
Well, I'll talk about what VCU has upcoming. Remember, this is all part of an 8-game homestand, and now the students are gone for Christmas break.
Right.
So VCU will have some games away, at home, but no students here, and that will continue Friday night when they play Maryland Eastern Shore. And then they will wrap up the calendar year home to Gardner-Webb, and then conference play begins January 3rd when they host St. Bonaventure. Mark Schmidt has always given VCU tough battles.
Mark Schmidt gives everybody tough battles. Always has.
And may not have those 3 to 5 star athletes, but he just gets them together.
Well, who did he play for? Gary Williams, who was brilliant at that, at taking guys who weren't 5 stars and ultimately making them into a national championship team.
And
so
he certainly
not
has done
surprising.
That. He's certainly done that at St. Bonaventure. So Chase Shaw comes back to our table and gives us the explanation. It was a common foul, no flagrant. The players got tangled up, Piccarelli and Kwani, so VCU will get it on baseline out of bounds. And they look for Furman, who's missed the layup.
That was one you or I could have made, Sean.
Wow.
You don't see guys miss shots like that very much. If I can't say if ever, because it does happen.
Tough break for Furman. Now, we thought that was going to be an easy layup.
Easy layup.
But instead, Hoffman will get a good look for three and knocks it down.
Continues hot.
His 4th 3 of the game, and he's leading all scorers with 12.
He's got 12 of his team's 34.
Here's Jackson. Dangerous pass picked up by Temple.
Yeah, I don't think Furman ever saw it.
Berry hits the floor. Jackson goes to the floor and picks it up.
Berry just lost his footing.
Nice outlet by Kwani to Furman, and he'll get to the line.
Still can't finish with the layup, but he will get to the line.
That's Piccarelli's third foul.
Second in the last minute. But he did manage to avoid getting called for the F1.
Yes. Which could have really blown this game open if that was the case.
Well, because like you said, 2 free throws plus the ball, who knows? Could have been a 4 or 5 point play. Instead, it was a no-point play.
So Furman is at the line to hit his first free throw as Jaleel White will come in to replace Quante Berry.
Jaleel White, Jaleel White, I can speak English, is coming back from missing 5 games, so he's a little rusty. That's out of bounds off VCU.
Chase Shaw says no.
Yeah, he says it was a deflection. Wow. He has a better angle as the trail.
And Coach Fisher did not like that and was talking to the lead official who said that I couldn't see it. Shaw had the better angle.
Yeah, it was Shaw's call to make if there was any controversy.
Shoga misses a 3. Kwani the offensive rebound and the nice reverse. Second straight game, Kwani has scored in double figures. He has 10, and it's a 19-point VCU lead.
He was 10 and 10 on Sunday, wasn't he?
No, Kwani had 15.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He had 15 and hit those 4 threes.
And hit 2 early today.
He sure did. He's got 10 so far. Piccarelli misses the 3.
Tough shot there.
Kwani the rebound.
Sorry, he was going in the right direction, but it was a little bit too quick of a catch and shoot.
Here's Jackson on the drive.
Wow, he's missed 2 layups in this half, which is surprising.
Kwani with the back tap. Fisher wanted to travel on that and didn't get it.
Yeah, it was right in front of us. It wasn't a travel. We had a much better angle on that one than Fisher.
Nice look to Furman, and he had to go off his hands, settle the third, the steal for Temple.
Good defense there by Shoga cutting him off because he's left-handed.
Hoffman leading the wave with 12 for Temple, and now gets a goaltend, and he has 14 to lead the Owls.
And I'm glad the officials didn't miss that one the way they missed the one on Sunday.
That went right to my memory bank when that happened. It was almost exact same angle, and Coach Landon Bussey for Alcorn State picked up a technical.
He went crazy
on that miss.
Ryan Odom told me, by the way, that the reason they teed him up wasn't so much his shouting, which was there, but because he actually caught the ball while it was still in play.
Exactly.
Because there'd been no call.
When I went back and saw it, I was like, oh, he didn't actually catch that in play, and that's why the tech call was called. Here's Kwani on the drive, and we get a foul. That's going to be on Miller.
Temple with 3 fouls here in the first 3 minutes. And that's not a good way to rally by putting the other team on the free throw line.
This is an unfortunate stat if you're a Temple fan. Miller has as many fouls as points this afternoon.
Unfortunate stat.
How about
that?
that?
Guy averaging 19 a game.
He's got 1 foul and 1 point in the game. Kwani. He's getting more comfortable the last couple of games in this system. Scored a season best 15 against Alcorn State Sunday. He now has 12 to lead the way for VCU.
I'm sorry, he's getting more and more comfortable. You can see it.
So when that first 3 went down Sunday, he became a totally different player.
He said that. I was listening to the post-game show with Rodney Ashby and Robbie Robinson, and he said that to them. He said he felt like a huge weight was lifted from his shoulders when the first one went in, and that's understandable.
Here's Hoffman again for 3. Ring it up.
Wow.
Sam Hoffman now with 5 threes in the game.
He's got no weight on his shoulders.
He's got 17 of the 39 Temple points.
Like I said, it's a very good thing for Temple that he's here.
The transfer from Houston Christian. And Settle saves it before it went out of bounds.
Good save by Settle.
Here's White inside, and he'll score.
It leads down to 14.
White with 6, the team's second leading scorer at 14 a night.
Ryan Odom doesn't want to call timeout, but he wants his team to, excuse the expression, settle down.
Nice. The wordsmith. Here's Bell drawing contact. No whistle. Got his own miss and couldn't get it to drop.
And here comes Bamasil coming back in the game. Ryan Odom wants to score.
They got the mismatch. White on Nelson, and they found it, and Nelson picks up the foul. That brings us to a timeout with 15:45 to go. Temple now trying to get back in it as they trail 55-41. Glad you could join us on Masson and on ESPN Plus with VCU now up 14 on Temple, 55-41. It was over 20 in this half, but Temple getting back in it, not behind Hasir Miller.
Nope.
It's behind Sam Hoffman, who has a game-high 17 to lead
5
the Owls.
threes.
And he's perfect from the field. He's 6 of 6
Yeah, he's
from the field.
He's been terrific. The rest of the team, not so much.
17 points in 15 minutes, and he's looking for number 6.
He hesitated. Did you notice that?
And a rebound and score by Miller, his first field goal of the game.
Ironic that Hoffman misses a 3, and Miller ends up with a follow-up layup to get on the board with a field goal. Ooh, that is a foul, ladies and gentlemen.
Shoga gets some contact.
Great shot fake there.
We'll see who the foul is going to be on. That'll be White's second.
That's on White. But Shoga caught the ball, saw White coming, shot faked him in the air, and then he came down right on top of him.
I was wondering that they were talking about whether or not that was in the act. And the head official is saying no, he was. The head fake.
I thought he was.
He was going in his motion.
Yep.
He was going into his motion, and therefore
he never got the ball up, but he was in his motion.
And you don't have to get the ball up. You just got to show the motion.
Right. You know who was the king of that years ago? Jeff Lamp. He was one of the great shot fakers of all time. Sometimes he would jump into the defender, but he still got the foul call.
A Virginia legend.
He is a Virginia
under
legend.
Terry Holland.
He was a terrific player.
Shoga continues his hot streak from the free throw line. That's 2 more made free throws. He has 11, and the lead back to 14. Here is Miller to the rim and scores again.
He's figured out that he needs to get inside.
He's not going to worry about the three-point shot. He's going to go to the rim and now has 5.
Well, sometimes that's how you get yourself going. Make free throws or make a layup.
Kwani. Lawal had it and lost it. Last touch by Settle. They said it went off Settle's knee.
I'm going to admit to the viewers, we don't have the benefit of replay right now. So I couldn't tell.
It was close.
Right.
And Settle's back was towards us, so we really couldn't see if it did, in fact.
Settle certainly didn't think it did.
But the head official.
Oh, now we see a replay above us.
Oh, it did. He got it right. Yes, it did.
It was off of Settle.
Bamasil off the inbound, in and out on the 3. And White the rebound. But Mark Fulcher got it right. Or Scholler, Reggie pardon. Got it right on that call. And White again getting to the rim for Temple. And it's a 10-point VCU lead.
If Miller gets going along with White, this can still be a ball game.
It was a 20-plus point lead in this half. It is down to 10. They're going to call a deflection, as Fisher thought that should have been a backcourt.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it was a deflection, but it ends up as a 3 for Jackson.
He's got 14.
If it wasn't a deflection, it was a foul, by the way. But Fisher would rather have had the foul.
Jackson's second made 3 in the game. Nelson hounding Piccarelli. And they're going to get Nelson, I think, on the foul.
Yep.
His third.
Only the second one for VCU in this half.
And Temple has 4 in this half, as Shoga will come back in to replace Nelson. Three players in double figures for VCU. Jackson with 14 to lead the way. Kwani has 12. Shoga has 11. Here's Miller on the drive. And Lawal vacuums in the board.
Miller with the Euro step, quote unquote. And still missed a shot.
Fats Billups in with Bamasiel, Lawal, Jackson, and Shoga. And Billups threw it away.
I love the fact that Billups' nickname is Fats. It'd be like calling a 7-footer tiny.
Or shorty.
Or shorty.
One of those nicknames that fit was what, Tiny Archibald?
That fit. Boy, was he a great player. My goodness. Red Auerbach drafted him, even though he was 5'9".
Here's Hoffman, the extra pass to White, and he scores again.
That was a nice pass.
Double figures now with 10. 19th career game in which White has scored in double figures, and it's an 11-point lead.
That's
Jackson got hounded by White, and that'll be his third.
Still non-shooting. It's a fifth on Temple.
Jackson trying to create. He's the team's second leading scorer this season for Coach Odom, and he's 14th in the A-10 in scoring this year, averaging just under 15 points per game.
Wow, almost didn't see that inbounds pass.
Here's Bamasiel. Billups being guarded by Picarelli. Nice up fake and will score off the window.
You could tell Billups thought that he could not be guarded by Picarelli. Just kept going to the basket and ended up with a wide open layup. There was no help.
Barry in to Picarelli, and he'll shoot for three. Back tap to Miller.
That's his game, Picarelli, is to shoot the three as he shoots it again.
And this time it went halfway down and popped out.
Yeah.
Shoga leaves it for Jackson for three. Barry the rebound, and a foul on VCU.
It's funny how shooting is contagious sometimes. One team gets hot, the other team gets hot. One team gets cold, the other team gets cold.
VCU shot 61% in the first half from the field.
And Temple was 32.
It is dipped down to now 50% from the field. They are now 3 of 13 in this half, 23%. Temple is shooting 61.5% from the field and has outscored the Rams 18-12.
Sort of reversed roles in terms of shooting the basketball.
Inside 12 minutes to go in the game. Miller has Lawal on the switch.
Good defense by Lawal. Miller gets in the lane anyway.
And scores.
That was just a good play by Miller. Sometimes you just got to say the other team gives scholarships too.
Can't keep good scores down. Miller now with 7, 6 in this half.
I don't think any of us expected him to score just one in the second half.
Bamasiel left open for three. Settle the third, the rebound for Temple. They can get it to single digits with a made basket here.
I'm going to say if they do, well, Ryan Odom won't call timeout because the next whistle is going to be a TV timeout.
Settle the third, guarded by Jackson.
Big size advantage there.
Thweet is into the game for Temple and misses the three.
Big miss for the Owls.
Here's Bamasiel. Blocked by Thweet.
Good block, clean block there by Thweet.
Barry now in transition against Shoga, had his shot blocked.
I thought he got fouled.
Max with a good defensive play. Up ahead is Jackson. Foul Lawal, stripped by Miller. Ball still loose and recovered by Temple.
A little sloppy here, both ends.
But again, Temple with a chance to get it to within single digits.
After being down 21.
VCU in the midst of a scoring drought of over 2 minutes. Miller for three.
Still can't buy one from outside, can he?
Nope, he's 0 of 5 from three here in the game. Coach Odom calling the play to get this team set up. Under 10 minutes to go. We're halfway through, and VCU up by 11. Extra pass to Bamasiel. Loses it in the air. Jackson now goes on the baseline drive and the finish.
Again, no help came.
We've seen that more than once, and Zeb Jackson has taken advantage of it. And a timeout on the floor with 9:44 to go in the game, and VCU has a 13-point lead. You're watching VCU basketball on Masson and on ESPN+. 9:44 left in the game, and VCU with a 13-point lead over Temple, 64-51. VCU looking to win their second in a row after their 28-point win over Alcorn State Sunday. Temple's trying to win their third straight. This is their last true road game.
Although they're going to go on the road.
They're going to go on the road, but it's not a true road game.
I know.
It's the MTE or...
They're actually going to the Diamond Head Classic, which is an MTE in Honolulu, which was the first of the MTEs really in the 1960s when it was the Rainbow Classic, named after the Hawaii Rainbows. And they're going to open over there. They have a 7 a.m. flight Tuesday. They're going to open over there with Nevada, coached by my old friend from Indiana, Steve Alford.
I was going to say. And then after that, they could either see TCU with Jamie Dixon or ODU
with Jeff Jones.
Three put up and made by Steve Settle III.
He can make those shots, as you mentioned in the first half. The lead is back to 10.
That is his first made three-pointer in this game. Shoga creating for Bamasil.
Who tripped over his own right foot.
Shoga draws contact on Settle. And with that, we have another timeout on the floor.
We got 32 seconds to play.
Shoga will shoot free throws when we come back on Masson and on ESPN+. Virginia Credit Union assists of the game. How about the pass by Max Shoga to Zeb Jackson?
That was a sweet pass, and a lot of times you underrate the catch, but the catch was very good, and then he finished, so outstanding.
VCU with 13 assists. Our assists of the game presented by the Virginia Credit Union.
They had 17 on Sunday, so they've kept up the pace.
They're one of the best in the country in that stat. They have assisted on 58% of their field goals. It's the program's highest rate since the Final Four run, when they assisted on 60% of made baskets that year.
The team they beat to get to the Final Four, Kansas, ranked number 2 in the country, escaped Indiana today in overtime.
They had a good team that year. They had the Morris twins on that squad.
Oh, they were number 1 seed.
Yeah, for a reason.
And VCU beat them easily.
Yes.
Kansas made a run late, but never really had a chance to win that game.
Yep. Won 5 games that year en route to the Final Four and lost to Butler in the national semis that season.
They played in the first 4.
First 4 beat USC in that first 4.
Of the first 4.
They can always say we were the first team to go first 4 to Final 4.
And they almost, they were the first. UCLA did it a couple years ago.
Here's Settle underneath and draws the foul. Fans didn't like it here at the Siegel Center.
I'm shocked the fans didn't like it.
Kwani gets called for the foul.
There were a few empty seats last Sunday, none today.
Not too many. This is only the 4th all-time meeting between Temple and VCU. As Temple was exiting the A-10, VCU was entering the league.
Right.
Their last meeting was last year. VCU lost by 10, but they only met, I believe, once as A-10 conference members.
Yeah, because, as you said, Temple left the A-10 as VCU was coming in. They went first to the Big East, which was a disaster. And then the Big East became the American Athletic Conference.
And then we have the Big East again.
And then we have the completely different Big East. I mean, certainly Butler and Creighton belong in a conference with East in the word.
Yeah.
This is, Stanford and Cal will belong in the Atlantic Coast Conference next year.
How crazy is that going to be?
It's insane.
It's going to be the ACC after dark with North Carolina playing Cal.
Yeah, that's
out
right.
there in Palo Alto, not Palo Alto, in
Berkeley.
Palo Alto and Stanford.
And it's a nice, easy trip for the student athletes.
Yes, Bamasil getting back into the swing of things offensively. His third made three-pointer of the game. He's got 11.
And another nice pass from Shulga.
Shulga's got 3 assists. Check it, 4 assists. Team's got 14 this afternoon. That went off a Weiss foot.
That's backcourt.
But is saved by Jackson, who brings it home.
Worked out okay for VCU. But that was backcourt. Ball clearly crossed half court. Although I guess the ref had it right, because until the ball is touched by the offensive team in the front court, the defensive team has the right to pick it up and go.
Bamacil with the heat check there on transition.
Okay, so my apologies to Chase Shaw. He got it right. A couple times we've questioned the officials today, and they've gotten it right.
Miller for 3.
Still can't make one.
Not from behind the arc. He's 0 of 6 from 3 this afternoon. VCU up 71-55. We're inside 8 minutes. Here's White. Lost it, got it back, had it blocked by Furman.
Block.
Kept it in play. Jackson, Shulga, Bamacil for 3.
That was almost textbook. But that was a great block by Furman to, as you said, keep it in bounds, but also not foul.
He's one of the nation's leaders in blocks this year.
You can see why.
White open for 3. Jackson the rebound, and they've got Shulga up ahead for the easy deuce.
He can make that one.
And
another
Coach Fisher
timeout.
Burns his timeout.
And this one will not go to a full.
It will not. And Coach Fisher is arguing with one of the officials about that. It is now going to be a full timeout.
Well, because it's the under 8.
And we'll take one as well. VCU leading by 18 on Masson and on ESPN+. 73-55, VCU with the lead. They're in the midst of a 7-0 run over the last minute 45 to push this lead back up to 18. Temple, John, had it almost under single digits. They had it to 10.
They had a couple possessions at down 10.
Couldn't get it below that, and then VCU got back on track.
Right.
Sean Robertson, John Feinstein, and our entire Rams Unlimited crew here from the Siegel Center. This is a 8-game homestand that VCU is in. It will continue through the first of the year when conference play begins, as Miller falls away, in and out on the shot. Lawal kept his pivot foot down to get that rebound.
I have a suspicion Miller's not going to look at this tape.
You know what? He might.
Well, he might if he thinks he can learn something from it. But what a frustrating day for a really good player. 3
of 13 from the field.
And the 3 are layups.
Yeah. And 0 of 6 from 3. Here's Shulga. Tough shot. Hoffman the rebound.
Good defense there.
And as Hoffman has had the really strong shooting today, 6 of 7, and has got 17 points. Settle with an off-balance shot that goes, and a chance at a 3-point play.
That was a tough shot. That's one of those where I say tough shot, and what I mean by it is not a good shot. But when it goes in, it's a good shot.
That's a horse shot.
Yeah, exactly.
You're playing horse
right.
in the backyard. That's a shot that he's like,
yeah, try this.
Give me the H and the O right there.
My daughter beats me at horse.
She does.
Yeah, she does. She can shoot. I can't.
Settle misses the opportunity for 3.
That was not a pretty free throw.
He played against VCU last year as a member of Howard, had 18 points, 9 rebounds, and 3 steals.
And played in the NCAA tournament for Howard.
Here's Jackson. Gives it up to Nelson.
He's lost his footing there.
Bell. Nice pass to Lawal, who brings it home.
That's what Nelson was planning. If this was hockey or the University of North Carolina, he'd get the second assist.
Lawal with his 4th point. I was going to say only his 4th point because he had been feeling it the last few games. He had a double-double against Alcorn State Sunday with 10 and 10.
See, I knew somebody was 10 and 10.
Toby had the 10 and 10. You were close.
I just got
confused. It was a post player for VCU.
Yep.
And an air ball for Hoffman. Shot did not hit the rim, and they did reset on the shot clock. Now they did, and they stopped possession. That shot clock did reset for about a half second.
Which it shouldn't have.
But the clock went back to what it was originally looked at.
The officials are going to have to figure out where it should be.
So
I wasn't looking at the shot clock, so I'm not sure. But
and they're gonna go to the. I think they're gonna go to the replay monitor.
I think they know, which is fine with me.
Oh, they went to 3 on the shot clock.
Yeah. I saw Chase Shaw say 3.
He did,
and he seemed pretty sure of himself.
Nikki had the replay monitor set for a official review.
By the way, Chase Shaw's a young official, but I think he's good.
He is. I think so. Ball went out of bounds, but now we're going to have whether it's a shot clock violation or not.
Shot clock's at 0. Now
and Coach Fisher was looking at the scores table to get that straight.
Still
and
is.
Now they're going to go to the scores table and check the replay monitor and see if it was 1 second left on the shot clock when that ball went out of bounds or not. Fisher thinks it is at least 1 second.
What do you expect him to think? No,
well,
we turned it over.
I've got to say what he's thinking.
Oh, yeah. No, you're accurate.
But, of course, he's going to say I need at least some more time on the shot clock. But he's thinking it's at least 1.
He thinks there's 6. And the play started with 3.
Yeah, it's not that much.
Yeah.
But it's going to be the head official.
It's a hard call here because did the shot clock go to 0 or was it still going down from 1
to 0 before it went out?
Exactly.
That's going to be the key.
Yeah.
What was the clock? Where was the clock at when the ball went out of bounds?
Exactly right.
Because if it's at 0, it's a violation.
Right.
Shot clock violation, VCU's ball. But if it was
1 second, they get a chance to inbound.
They get it at least an inbound. Exactly right.
And every team in college basketball, pro basketball too, has a play if there's 1 second left. The Temple kids they were lining up as if it was their ball, and then Adam Fisher called them over.
There we're going to get the explanation straight from the lead official.
And they're going to give him 1 second.
Mark Schorner is going to come over and give us the official explanation. But it's 4 of 8 from 2.
Right.
So he can say, I'll take that.
4 of 8's fine. 0-6 not so good.
0-6 is, especially from a guy that is made 23s this season. Now he has attempted 75 before today. As the wall got hammered.
That was a foul, yeah.
Miller gets called for the foul, and that brings us to a timeout. 3:39 to go. VCU with a 77-61 lead as we will keep it here, as we had a lot of timeouts here in this second half. So we'll stay right here.
That was the 7th team foul on Temple, so Wall will shoot 1-1.
1-1 opportunity for Toby Lawal and the Rams, who it appears will go to 6-5 on the year, win their second straight, and could surpass 80 for the second straight game as they scored 86 against Alcorn State. And we go back to the beginning of the game, and like we mentioned it with Joe Bamacil.
Right.
Just his energy and just those first couple of shots going down seemed like that was
huge.
That
was huge, Sean, because his teammates know what this game means to him to be back in uniform. And to come off the bench, he missed his first shot, but then he made his next 3.
Yep.
And that was when VCU stretched the lead. And he made another one when Temple was trying to rally here in the second half. So if I'm picking a player of the game, no offense to anybody else in uniform for VCU, I'm picking Bamacil. And that's nothing against Zeb Jackson, who's been terrific. He's got 18 and 7. And Bamacil's played limited minutes.
Yeah, he hasn't played a lot. He was on a pitch count.
He was, no doubt.
So far, but in 18 minutes, he's given you 11 points. Oh, sorry, in 18 minutes, he scored 11 points so far. He's one of 4 Rams in double figures so far.
Yeah. And, you know, if Miller being 4 of 14 makes it awfully hard for Temple to win this game.
We want to apologize. We're having some technical difficulties during our broadcast, so hopefully you'll stay with us for the final 3:39 of regulation. Now, you mentioned Miller's struggles from the field, 4-14. If Hoffman's 17 didn't take place,
be a blowout.
Yeah.
But the other way you can look at it is if Miller had a normal shooting night for him, this would be a much closer game.
Yeah.
That's why it's always so key, especially when your best player, Miller, is your point guard.
Yeah.
Because everything starts with the point guard. And the fact that Zev Jackson has felt more and more comfortable at the point has really helped VCU.
I mean, and both guys have really, they stuffed the stat sheet other than Miller's points. I mean, Jackson has got 18,
right,
7 assists, 6 rebounds, 4 steals. Miller's got 9 points, 7 assists, and 5 rebounds. So he's not scoring like he normally does. He's doing everything else.
Doing the other things.
He's almost matched his average. He's surpassed his average rebounding, and he surpassed his average in assists.
Yeah, I mean, you can see, even on a day when he can't shoot the ball, that he's a really good player.
Yeah. He's going to be dangerous in the AAC.
He will be.
This season. Lawal with the front end of a 1-and-1. Gets the home bounce.
That's the shooter's role.
And he added a little body English.
Oh, maybe that's why it went in?
Yeah, a little body English. Little shoulder shimmy to get that one to go. Didn't get the second bounce.
Didn't get the luck the second time.
He didn't have the shoulder shimmy that time. He was leaning forward to try to get it in.
Big mistake. Nice catch there by Settle.
But Lawal, 7 points, 7 rebounds in 21 minutes. Another solid performance by Lawal. Settle with a long 2 that gives him 12.
Solid player.
Settle the third.
Stopping the clock here for some reason.
Yeah, another issue with the clock. And that doesn't happen too often.
Well, everybody's having technical issues. Oh, they're going to look at whether it's a 2 or 3.
That could be it.
Yeah, they're looking.
Because the official in the corner, who was right beside Settle, Jeff Pond, said if it was a 2. It was signaled a 2 at first. But Pond and Shaw are at the replay monitor to see if, in fact, he was behind the line or not.
It's a 2.
And they credited
it right.
number 2. Yep. Jeff Pond was right on top of that.
He was. And Sugar made the point to us that they have to check it right away.
Yep. Especially if there's a stoppage. They got a stoppage and get it done.
Right.
Sugar tried to create and found Nelson to reset. Coming up on 3 minutes to go in the game, and VCU 15-point advantage over Temple.
No need to rush, but no need not to run your offense. Double teamed out there.
Now a triple team. Nice effort by Lawal. Gets it off in time. Hit the back of the rim.
That was the 49-inch vertical
Yes,
leap
it
there.
was. Yes, it was. Here's Piccarelli for 3, and he hits.
He can make threes.
And it's a 12-point lead with 2:40 to go. Piccarelli now with 9 on his third made 3 of the game.
And Temple has 1 timeout left.
4 possessions in 2:40 with some guys that can shoot the 3. You're still in it. I mean.
Well, that's why you keep playing, even if you're behind. I have a feeling that if they can't get a steal fairly quickly, you're going to see them start to foul. And
VCU is the wrong team to foul.
They are the wrong team to foul.
They are the number 1 team in the A-10.
The next 2 fouls will be 1-on-1s. So that puts a little extra pressure on you.
Yeah, coming into today, they were tops in the A-10 in free throw percentage at 78%. That's 13th best in the country.
And understand something. This is a little bit of a chess game between the coaches because Temple has stats in front of them that tell them who to foul and who not to foul. And, of course, VCU has the same stats saying this is who we want with the ball. It's a good foul shooting group on the floor for VCU.
Yeah, Nelson's at 72%. Jackson's at 87%. Bell's at 78%. Shoga is 90%.
Yeah, so there's nobody under 70.
And Lawal's at 58%.
Okay, so Lawal is not the guy they want touching
But he
the
can
ball.
shoot. Yeah, he's got good form to shoot it.
Very good form.
Yeah. But you got 4 guys right around.
Basically want him on the boards after a shot goes up. And they've already killed 20 seconds, but
Miller with a steal.
Miller makes the steal.
And then he gets the layup.
His 5th layup of the game. That was a careless pass there.
Miller in double figures now with 11. He has scored in double figures in every game this year, and it's his 26th career game in which he scored in double figures.
He is still 10. I really think Temple needed to foul sooner, although last time they ended up with a layup.
Here is Bell on the baseline drive, and he gets it to go.
That's a very mature freshman there.
That breaks a 7-0 Temple run.
And that's a big bucket because now 1:40 to go, and it's a 12-point lead.
Here's Miller, and he's fouled.
They did not want that foul. Zeb Jackson did not want to commit a foul.
Not at all.
You don't want to put a good free throw shooter on the line, and more than that, you don't want to stop the clock.
Miller comes in at 76% from the line this season.
Which isn't great, but it isn't bad.
This is, yeah.
And it's 2 shots because he was shooting. Only the 6th foul for VCU.
He keeps another streak alive in today's game. He has attempted at least 13 shots from the field in every game this season. Today, 5 of 15.
Well, as we said before the game, he had 171 shots coming in, which is an average of almost 19.
Makes both.
Well, that was not a great foul by Zeb Jackson.
Team's leading scorer now with 13. Question is, when do you foul if you're Temple?
Well, I think you got to foul pretty soon if you can't get a turnover. And Adam Fisher, I thought he wants him to pressure them but not foul yet. And they've already used up almost 20 seconds.
Well, here's the right guy with the ball, Shoga, shooting over 90% from the line.
He's who you want on the line.
White becomes the first player in the danger zone with his 4th foul. Team 8th. So it's still a 1-and-1, but Shoga gets that opportunity from the stripe where he has been automatic just about this season.
What is he, 22 for his last 23?
Well, counting today, he's 28 of his last 29.
Wow.
Now 29 of 30. Good gracious.
That's good.
Just a bit. Just a bit. When you can say I've missed 1 free throw in the last 4+ games, you take that.
And he's been getting to the line, too.
Yeah. Yeah, now going into 5 games, he has attempted 31 free throws.
He's made 30.
So about 6 a game.
I mentioned Steve Alford before. He missed 2 free throws in a game on a Saturday. The next day was Super Bowl Sunday. He came into the gym and shot 500 free throws and did not miss 2 for almost the rest of the season. He was a 90% shooter, too.
Tough drive and score by White.
Got to give Temple credit for hanging in. Now they're fouling.
Settle burns his on Bell. Settle the 3rd, picks up his 2nd. Yeah, I was going to say now, with it at 10, maybe it's too little too late. You had about 90 seconds and it didn't burn the fouls quickly. You're under a minute to go and now have to use the foul. It's their 9th team foul to send Michael Bell to the line.
Remember, this is a freshman. It's a good free throw shooter.
Yeah, he's at 78% from the line this season.
He's like, so what, I'm a freshman. Watch me.
That's his 5th point of the afternoon. The freshman from London, England, played in the French under-21 league, developed that body. We've talked about it this season. He does not look like a prototype freshman.
Same league that Victor Wembanyama played in. I'll get his name sooner or later.
Here's Miller against Jackson. Falling away. White the offensive rebound. Taken away by Shoga. Here's Shoga in the open floor and brings it home.
He plays passing lanes as well as anybody. And that's the dagger, as Steve Buckhantz would say.
19 for Shoga. And 2 steals. Miller for 3. His first.
Finally made one.
His first of the game.
Took him 39 minutes and 35 seconds.
And uses his 3rd foul. Now, he only came in shooting 27% from 3, but this is a guy that can fill it up. He's 1 of 7 tonight from the field from 3.
Confident shooter, usually with good reason.
Shooter's going to keep shooting.
That's what their coaches want them to do.
Shooter's going to keep shooting.
Yep.
And Coach Fisher had mentioned that this is a free offense. We let our guys be free.
Well, that was one of the things he said to Miller to convince him to stay at Temple.
Yep. And was very honest about what he needed to work on to be better.
Right.
And he certainly has done that. He was in the portal when the change was made.
He was apparently about to sign with SMU.
Piccarelli from distance. And he's got 12. It's a 9-point lead, and I don't think Temple's going to foul here.
I think Adams just said don't foul.
Yep. Well, Temple made it interesting.
They hung in. They didn't give up, that's for sure.
They were down by 21 in this half, and VCU wins by 9 for their second straight, 87-78. Temple falls to 6-4. VCU improves to 6-5 on the season. We'll take a timeout and wrap it up here from the Siegel Center on Masson and on ESPN Plus.